Phantoms, diggers, and ice flows are just some of the new releases for the simulation world this week. Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWrap, and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings-on from the week that was. Hello and welcome to Sunday, the 26th of May, 2024, for another exciting episode, and let's jump straight into it with the Phantom. Of course, that is the release from the team over at Heatblur for the world of DCS with their long-awaited release of their rendition of the F4E Phantom 2. So I've seen many things of this aircraft over the years. I have seen much excitement and anticipation coming out for it, as well as many comparisons for this and with the aircraft in other sims, which we will not get into it for this particular news story. Anyway, so the release from the team over at Heatblur comes from the studio. Let's be honest, this studio is pretty damn famous and does some pretty amazing work, and the Phantom is no exception to that. It looks absolutely fantastic from all the preview shots through to the latest final release shots that we are seeing here. So as we've come to expect from the world of DCS and especially from the team over at Heatblur, this comes with a highly detailed rendition of the F4E Phantom 2 with some specific variants. So specifically, this is going to be for the some of the later variants, which is the DSCG and DMAS equipped E variants. However, at time of release though, so right now you are only getting the DSCG variant. The DMAS is coming later on in this early access period because, of course, once again, like we usually see with the world of DCS, this is not a full release, this is an early access release. Please refer back to the recently released podcast from the Three Grumpy Simmers for our opinions on that. Anyway, moving on. So as I said, it comes with a range of new weapons to bring into the sim, as well as a highly detailed rendition of all aircraft systems, including the interestingly coded AFCS system of the aircraft, with a mass-based physics system, detailed hydraulic systems with accurate oil and fuel system performance. Also includes, following on from their previous release of the F-14 Tomcat, we once again get Jester at the back with as our Wizzo, but this time he comes rebooted, now as Jester AI 2.0. I am not 100% sure what extra functionality he gets, but apparently he does have extra functionality, dialogue options, and more, as well as providing us a new simulated crew chief. So as I said, that's pretty much some of this. Most likely, if you were after the Phantom for DCS, you probably already got it. But in case you missed it, this release is now available, coming in at $80 US, or your original equivalent, available now from DCS Store. Moving out of the world of DCS now, moving into the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, of course, we saw this week the long overdue, long awaited release of Sim Update 15, and along with that came a new aircraft. So we got a second A320neo. So for me, it's an interesting choice on the part of Microsoft here. Not 100% sure why they did it. I've got a couple of ideas. But yeah, it just seems to be a bit odd that we now have two official sort of, in-sim provided versions of the same aircraft. Now, on one level, I absolutely completely understand that this one is coming to us from the team over at Anybuilds. Still a few questions about who produced the original one. That's part of the base one, but they now exist inside the sim side by side. So the new version that you get basically is it's a Anybuilds product. Of course, as we know, Anybuilds is very much the darling developer for first-party devs at the moment for the team over at Microsoft Flight Simulator. And they've already provided us with the A310 and quite a number of the local legends aircrafts over the last couple of years. Along with that, you get it's basically, I don't know, I'm not really going to go into it too much, but they did also release a enhanced pack, which includes additional high-quality 4K textures, along with a rendition of the passenger area of the aircraft, which is a free update to the free aircraft. So a free squared update? I'm not sure. Anyway, rendition which can be downloaded from the InSim Marketplace, available now from the InSim Store. Continuing on with Microsoft Flight Simulator releases, the team over at Flight Tampa released this week their latest airport release with the release of Humberside Airport. Now, random aside about Humberside. So I know Humberside because of the fact that it's the home of the BAE Systems maintenance school. I didn't know that it had a full-size replica of Thunderbird 3 there. So anyway, I learned that today while I was creating this video. Anyway, moving on. This gives us a detailed rendition of the airport as it appears at the start of 2024, so very much up to date. High-resolution textures, all airport buildings modelled, custom GSX profiles with an included high-detailed interior model of the main terminal. Coming in at $13 or original equivalent, available now from your favourite flight sim retailer. Continuing on with, or rounding out Microsoft Flight Simulator releases and providing a perfect gateway into X-Plane releases, the team over at Colombian Virtual Design released their latest airport with the release of a rather unusual airport, this one. So this is Nerlerit Inaat Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator from Greenland. So this is it's a public airport, but it has no RPT services. This is basically there designed as a sort of intermediary stop and also just to provide for oil and gas exploration in the area. And the only sort of permanently parked aircraft or sort of stationed aircraft there is a Bell 222 from the Air Greenland company. This is an airport that there's not a lot there. I mean, you're in the absolute arse end of nowhere on the top of the world there, so there's not a lot there, but it does have all airport buildings modelled there. It is a very short runway, so it's only helicopters and STOL class aircraft, so perfect for if you've got the DHC, if you've got the de Havilland Dash 7, or you've got the DC-3 that comes with a sim. This would be a great airport for you to land at. Couple of things that I point out though, overall doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's fairly basic, doesn't look too bad, but the thing that really weirded me out was the fact that all the people that they've got modeled at the airport are basically in a quasi T-pose and have not been positioned. That absolutely threw me when I was looking through the preview shots, and I was like, that seems odd. Anyway, if you want to add this one to your collection for Microsoft Flight Simulator, you pick it up for $9 or original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Now, of course, as I said, this is a great segue into X-Plane because not only did they release it for Microsoft Flight Simulator, they also released it for X-Plane 11 and 12 at the same time. And I am straight up going to say that the one for Microsoft Flight Simulator, even with the weird T-pose people, still looks a whole heap better. I've seen some great products released for X-Plane lately. Obviously, I have a personal preference for MSFS over X-Plane. Not that there's anything wrong with X-Plane before anybody starts attacking me in the comments. But yeah, this just looking at the preview shots was like, whoa, whoa. Anyway, yeah, it's same airport buildings, but definitely doesn't have the same feel about how it looks. So yeah, buyer beware for that one. But still, it is a great airport to visit in the far-flung destinations. And again, if you want to pick this one up for $8 US dollars or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Continuing on with X-Plane releases now, the team over at Orbix released their latest in their TrueEarth series, release of Great Britain South for X-Plane 12, which is the latest in their series of the Great Britain series of TrueEarth's releases. This one gives us over 100,000 square kilometres of hand-corrected, crisp, colour-matched aerial imagery with custom-implemented autogen technology specifically for X-Plane, with over 130 million trees at correct height and location. I would love to know the database they used to pull that from. Anyway, so not only do you get 130 million trees at the right locations, you also get 13 million buildings at the correct heights and locations. Custom model 3D POIs throughout, VFR landmarks such as masts, wind farms, churches, power lines, etc., all modelled as well, with a custom sharp detail 10-metre elevation mesh used throughout the region. You also get a custom control panel to turn certain features on and off with an accurate update to road and rail network blended into the aerial imagery, with ensuring that the traffic is actually driving on the correct side of the road. I just want to point out that the people in the UK and Australia and Japan drive on the correct side of the road. Anyway, I'm going to cop some flack for that. Moving on. If you wanted to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $30 or your regional equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. And rounding out the X-Plane 12 news, moving to the Antipodes, the team over at Fly Tampa released their rendition, or I'm sure, I feel like this is an update, but anyway, either way, it's a rendition of Sydney International Airport, which is a custom realization of the airport as it appears at the start of 2024, custom terrain mesh for the area, all airport buildings modeled with a custom patch for Ortho for XP users to blend it seamlessly with Ortho terrain. And if you want to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $26 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. And moving out of the world of flight simulation, moving on to the Asphalt now to round out the simulation news, release news this week. The team over at SES Software released a pack for both American Truck Simulator and for Euro Truck Simulator with their JCB equipment pack. Not 100% sure what this pack does. I feel like this is basically just a trailer pack, which gives you some more cargo jobs that you can grab. But of course, this is officially licensed from the JCB company, which gives you a number of different options for hauling new cargo throughout your virtual maps, whether it be in Europe or the US. And if you wanted to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $5 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And with that, folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by following me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.